did it there.
I'll take it.
Tell them to stop fucking around.
Yeah, they have a lot to do with that artistically.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, du musst auf die Fotos gehen, die wir da haben. Tell something about the photos.
Mike Diamond, Lederhosen, G.
Mike Money G. Spot the likeness.
Could you tell something about Paul's Boutique? What is Paul's Boutique? It's a boutique in Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's a store.
Where you used to buy there?
718-498-1043.
It's this guy. He's in like a neighborhood store, and he's like a really, he's a cool guy that we know. He's like really does a lot of stuff in the community, so we figured, help him out,
Mike used to go out with Janice.
Yeah.
Who's Janice?
Janice, she's the manager. She's the manager.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't even hang out at the place too much. He mainly like the financier.
Yeah, he's not feeling well, so we figured, he's getting old and shit. In a lot of ways, it's like the album is an acknowledgement of Paul himself and his efforts and his achievements, but it's also
and his unacknowledged contributions to the fashion styles of the b-boy community.
Yeah, definitely. But also at the same time, it's like an acknowledgement to that community as a whole, like to that whole neighborhood, that state of mind, and it's just like an acknowledgement, it's like knowledge.
That whole pseudo-Greco period.
The way things are going, it's, you're gonna crucify me.
How did you come up with the idea of doing a medley on these songs?
It's like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Like, who thought of that? It's like
he
thought of it too. He thought of it and he did it.
A lot of people, they might think that due to the fact that he's hard of hearing or whatever, that he would never be able to compose something. And he figured he could just skip right to the 10th and not even do the 9th. But he did the 9th, and the thing is, it's like a lot of people might think that, well, we're so stupid, how could we come up with the medley, it's such a big handicap, but we did.
And just imagine if my man Beethoven had a fucking sampler.
Exactly. If he had a DJ, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You all heard that record a few years back, Fifth of Beethoven, that was no joke.
What about the artwork on the album? Who of you did it?
Paul was involved.
Nathaniel Hornblower. And I think isn't Nathaniel Hornblower is like Swedish French or
something. It was Bloer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Bloer. It's like an accent.
Swiss French.
Are you into artwork?
Swiss French.
Artwork?
Yeah, no,
like Picasso?
Oh, on your new album, I heard you.
What do you mean, like Tom Hanks?
I don't know.
Mike's parents are involved in art dealing.
Yeah, all of us, we come from very upper middle class, very rich, huge $1 million mansion backgrounds.
When did you, talking about the roots, when did you decide to switch from punk or from rock to rapping?
Well, it's weird that LeVar Burton was so big after he did Roots, and then he's like going out like a roach on Star Trek. It's funny. A lot of people, they look at I guess like the career, like the career or the ascension of the Beastie Boys, right? And they draw comparisons maybe to the Moody Blues here, or like Grand Funk here, or Can't. There's a lot of different groups that people tend to draw parallels to, but I just feel like, like every change that happened was just what we were into at the time, we're just, right now we're just extremely lucky, everything's really fallen in place every step of the way, and a lot of it is just like, you can't, not any one person can claim responsibility for a sequence of events, in retrospect, a lot of people tend to do that, man, but it's just like, to an extent, it's fate, it's like 1/3 music, 1/3 people, 1/3, spiritual, and that's the end product. Right?
Mainly, this one time we were horseback riding in Phoenix, and we realized that we were just going to take the whole situation by the reins and express ourselves, like Madonna.
What would be the latest situation in the lawsuit you have against Def Jam?
Well, right now they've uncovered a lot of files and evidence of like weird pictures of Russell, like naked with girl. You know, they found him with underage girls, like tied up.
Broken
and
perfume bottles. They found pictures of Riff with this porno.
And like a girl was locked out on the balcony. I mean, they uncovered a lot of weird stuff, like our lawyers did, and I guess it pertains to the case. So that's like the most recent.
The size
stuff.
of Russell Simmons' penis was in question at one point.
Yeah.
That's now public.
What would be your future plans? What are you doing next week, next month?
All right.
Okay, it's all right.
Okay, what are you doing next week? What are you doing tomorrow?
Yo, man, a lot of stuff is going on, man. A lot of stuff is going down right now. I think right now,
Oh, Sean will be here tomorrow.
yeah, a lot of people are coming into town. I think, into Los Angeles, it's like, people look back at the 80s and they're like, what happened? Right now we're headed for a period where a lot of stuff is about to happen, like the environment, you got rap going on, you got Yo MTV Rap, a lot of this stuff is all coming together now towards the end of the 80s and into the 90s, and I think like heading towards like the end of the millennium, the year 2000 is going to get more and more intense. And
It's like the new wave 80s got everything reversible, instead of taking a walk, you got the Cadillac convertible.
Yep.
Yep.
And when we get into the 90s, I don't think we're going to be seeing as much of Winger and Bon Jovi on television.
Cruising down the avenue, my homeboy Boob. There's a lot of that shit. Guys, I don't get it.
Do you invite
Busting
your
your
old
dance
pals from New
steps
York
every single
over here?
weekend.
Huh?
Do you invite your old pals from New York over here?
Yeah, they come and chill with us. Dave Skilkins would be around the motherfucker all the time.
Sean will be here on Thursday.
On a
tomorrow.
daily basis.
Sean, my homeboy
Sean,
Boob.
the man that did say, there's like nobody in New York even worth having a drink with anymore. That's
See,
just his opinion.
That's the thing.
What would you see the difference on the scene between LA and New York?
New York has got whatever.
Every
don't know,
city's
man.
got its own thing to offer.
New York's like a more solid city. It's got a lot of tall buildings. You can't build buildings as much as tall around LA because the structure of the ground isn't made out of rock. Like Manhattan is one big rock. So you build all these solid buildings straight up. So when you walk down the street in Manhattan, you just look up and there's all these tall buildings. And the way they do the landscaping, very straight down the streets, So the lines of the buildings are all real straight. LA is more just kind of like, random, scattered, little bullshit building. I mean, take a look around these buildings.
Yeah,
How would you describe the difference in the way of living down here?
Well, it's not so much the difference. I just say, I gotta say, in terms of New York, what everybody's gotta look at is the fact that, look at the origins of New York City. It was sold by the Indians for what? Such a little amount of money. So it's like every time, $40 bucks or something. So it's for a song. It's like every time that we do business, we always look back at that and we think, look what happened to the Indians. They did this deal.
They sold Manhattan for $40.
It was a bad deal, and then they got kicked out. And so we're not interested in selling ourselves or what we create or what we have for $40 like that. And I think there's a lesson that everyone can learn.
Would you live the next years over here, or would you move back to New York?
Maybe either way. It's like LA is a much more new wave place for us. Manhattan is a harder, stronger city, and we're expressing the new wave in us. We're into new wave. We love new wave.
New music. Grupos,
are still
The
happening.
new wave 80s got everything reversible.
Wasmo, Nariz, all these important flying lizards, a lot of overlooked new wave thing that is happening here now. It isn't in New York.
Would you think of producing somebody one day?
Oh, it's funny you mention that.
Slack and relax.
We got Sticks and Stones.
Sticks and Stones. We got who else is there?
We got Revy and Futura.
There's Holmes and Watson.
Yep.
And there's also and the Blues Traveler. Blues Traveler too. Yeah. There's a bunch of we got a lot of things going on.
The roster is.
We got a Southern ska band too.
Zulu ska.
Okay, I guess that's all. Thanks. That's all.
All right.
Alright.
Could you do the idea now? The name of the show is not Ran.
It's called
The name of the show is Ragazzi.
Haken.
Ragazzi. Ragazzi, you got it?
Ragazzi.
Ragazzi.
All right.
Yahtzee!
Yeah, these are the Beastie Boys for Ragazzi. Could you rap something?
These are the Beastie Boys for Ragazzi.
We are rapping.
Ragazzi.
Yahtzee! Ragazzi!
Could you rap something?
No.
I am German and I love to rap.
don't play Yahtzee, we got Ragazzi. See?
Okay.
Bust out them wide.
Look at all the shows that you got, see?